Hello everybody, welcome to the channel if you are new here, welcome back if you are not. It's Baby Jesus back with another gathering guide. Today we will be taking a look at death motes. Now death motes can come from a multitude of sources, but primarily they come from Blight root, Blight Crag, and the more elusive Blight Moth, which is the tier 5 regent. And for today's video, we will be taking a look at a relatively low level farm. You should be able to do it basically from level 20 on. You guys can see the mobs in front of me right now are level 20, but shouldn't be too difficult. Before we get into it, if you find anything useful in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything and it means a lot for me. And if you found anything you didn't like in this video, please make sure to leave me a comment and let me know how I can improve and become a better content creator for you and all of the rest of the audience. So without further ado, let us get right into it. Now, this farm is going to take place just above Moonshade, which if you are coming in from a fast travel, you can come in from either Hermit Shrine or Arcana Gate. Now, this does take place in Monarch's Bluff. You guys can see we are on the far east side of Monarch's Bluff. It's almost perfect distance between the Windward Fort, I believe it is, and the town of Monarch's Bluff itself. So we are right here in this town of Moonshade, and this is where the entire route will take place. So we are going to hop right into it, and our first spawn of the Blight route is going to be right here. Now, this is not going to be a mob-free farm, but if you are smart and sort of tricky with how you walk around things, you should be able to gather as much as possible without aggroing too many of these guys. So our first one does take place right in this little building here, and that's where we do start off. After you've gathered that one, we are going to make our way down to this building right here. Now, I do like to put pins on the map because it makes it easier for both you and myself to make sure I don't get lost and turned around. If you guys want to do that, I would recommend it. It makes your life a lot easier whilst gathering. So you guys can see the next spawn of it is right here next to this building. So once you gather this one, just remember that there is another one that spawns right behind us, and we're going to want to gather that as well. So this double spawn right here is our first nice one, and then over here on the rocks, you can already see it on the map, we have a Blight Crag spawn. Now Blight Crags, just like many other mining materials, are typically only going to show up near or on cliffs. So just keep that in mind if ever you are looking for them. That's going to be your best bet to do so. After you've gathered this Blight Crag here, we're going to head down to the far corner of this building, where there should be another double spawn of the Blight route. So again, if you stick to the cliff, you should be able to get around all of these guys without aggroing too many of them. So we have our nice little double spawn of Blight route. We're going to gather that, and after we do, we're going to gather this one first. We are going to head off to this rock outcropping right here for another spawn of that Blight Crag. And there she is. You guys can actually see the Hermit's Shrine fast travel off in the distance there. So after you've gathered that Blight Crag on this outcropping here, we're going to head in right to the end of the road effectively. And we're going to go gather a Blight root that spawns right there. Now, a good little trick, if you are lower level and you're trying not to pull any of the aggro, a good thing to do is you can crouch. It does actually lower your aggro range, so you can get much closer to enemies without pulling any aggro whatsoever. So you guys can see here, this is our next spawn of the Blight route, right at the end of the path. After we've gathered this one, we are going to head to the far side of this this field here, and there should be a spawn of Blight route and Blight Crag respectively. So if you go through the field, you're obviously going to aggro all of them. I do like to go around, just because, well, I don't want to have to fight an entire army of these undead type things. If need be, we absolutely can. You guys can see they drop pretty easily. So there is our Blight route right in the distance there. You can see it. It doesn't really hide too much. Now, a good rule of thumb, materials tend to all spawn in similar environments to themselves. So, for example, Blight route is always going to be found near these decrepit farms. You know, Life Bloom is always going to be in the forest. Rivercrest is always going to be near the water. You know, etc., etc. Earth and Life can spawn similar spots, but I digress. So if ever you're near one of these farms, just note that there probably is a good source of death motes nearby. So after we've gathered these two, we are going to swing wide out and actually go all the way to this rock over here for another spawn of the Blight Crag. Just remember, it's not this rock, it's the next one after. After that, we're going to swing into the farm further in just to get some more of the roots. So you guys can see, again, they always do spawn on the rocks of some sort, be it cliffs, be it outcroppings, boulders, you name it. After you gather that, our next spot is going to be right here. We're going to run in and gather that. And this is where it starts to get a little bit more tricky to avoid the ads, but again, you can get lucky sometimes depending on their walking path. Excuse me. So after you've gathered this double spawn of Blight root, we are going to make our way further in. You can already see it on the compass. So we're going to make our way right ahead. We're going to have to fight this guy, and that's okay. So you're going to want to get the Blight root there. You guys can see there is actually a little chest that does spawn right in front of us. You're going to want to gather that. You can get some regents out of it. It's already right here. Why not? Our next spawn, you can actually see it in behind the chests behind that tree there. That is going to be our next spot for the spawn. I just don't feel like him jumping on me, so I'm just going to take him out preemptively. So we're going to make our way over to our next Blight root right here. Dead center of the road. Very hard to miss. After you've gathered this, we are going to make our way back out to this barn over here behind us. And we've already cleared the path, so we know it should be relatively easy to get to. And we're going to go to the back side of it. And there should be another double spawn of Blight root as well as a single spawn of... Oh, I made them angry. There's our Blight root. We probably are going to anger that guy as well. That's okay. Perfect. So, again, we are just on the back side of this barn here. We have a double spawn of Blight root. We are standing by one of them. The next one is right behind us. And on the cliff behind us, well, direct to our left, you see the Blight Crag spawn as well. Now, as mentioned in the other gathering videos for motes specifically, elemental plants have a 10 to 15 minute cooldown. So all the Blight roots will respawn in 10 to 15 minutes. All of the elemental stones will respawn in 15 to 25 minutes. And if you do manage to find some of those tier 5s like the Blight moths, or the earth shell turtles and stuff like that, they do take substantially longer and they can respawn in 25 to 45 minutes. Now, after you've gathered the Blight Crag and the Blight root here, we're going to make our way over to this giant boulder up there. And there should be another spawn of your Blight Crag just around the corner. Ah, there it is. After you've gathered this, we are going to head back in towards the farm. And we're going to just head to the corner or the elbow of that Y intersection. You can actually see the Blight root off in the distance. Now, Blight root, just like all the other motes, essences, wisps, etc., are all used for late game crafting, so they always are going to have a place in the marketplace, or the town, the trading post, pardon me. So they're always going to hold value. So once you've gathered this one, apparently the road is telling me that I missed one somewhere, but that's okay. You're going to want to gather that, and you're going to want to just walk over to this one as well. If I manage to not aggro these, I'll be very surprised. We're just going to walk away. So we've gathered those now, and we are just going to head over into... there should be another one right around here. It's possible that's already gone now. Ah, it's already taken. We might have gathered it on our way in. Might have already forgotten. After that, you guys can just head down the road this way, back towards the bridge, because this is actually our original spawn point. You guys can see that is the original Blight root that we gathered, and this is where our whole route started. So once again, we did start here. We made our way all the way around, stayed in this general area, all the way through Moonshade, and then made our way back. And you guys can see in 9.5 minutes, we did manage to gather a ton of motes. You guys see we got 262 motes in less than 10 minutes, which is insane. And again, they do take 10 to 50 minutes to respawn. So if you do decide you want to go and, kill them, get some weapon XP, or go and gather all those fruits and veg that do spawn on the farms, which I would highly recommend you do. We did it for the sake of the video, but that can buy you that time to now have the perfect respawn of once you get back to the starting, you have the respawn already done, and you can just start running it in perpetuity because they'll all respawn in similar times. But that being said, guys, that will be the end of the video today. You guys can see we got 262 motes. We got one of the blight root flowers, and we probably got a ton of the blight root stems as well, 22 of them. So nothing to shake a stick at, and we got some of the lodestones as well. I think these ones, the putrid lodestones. We got 6 of them. That's gonna be the end of the video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did find this useful, please again consider hitting the subscribe button. Leave me a comment as to what you liked or did not like, and I will do my best to improve on future content. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves an amazing day, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.